Today I will be giving my first 2028 election prediction in general of 2026. So now, let's go ahead and get started. My two candidates are Gavin Newsom and JD Vance as they continue to lead the polling. Obviously, JD Vance continues to smother any Republican polling. As you can just look at this, I mean, when's the last time he's lost a poll? And then if we go over to now, Newsom is on average winning most polls, with every now and then Kamala Harris getting a good poll. But I do think the Democratic establishment, I do think donors, big donors, would be more likely back Newsom, believing he has a better chance to win. And also, Gavin Newsom and Kamala Harris are sort of similar in the general political spec, spec, you know, the general political spectrum will whatever. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started with our safe states. Now, before I do my safe states, I do want to be clear. Um, let's look at Trump's disapproval rating. Right now, he's at roughly negative 9.9, negative 10% disapproval rating. This is better than when it was in the government shutdown, but still not pretty. As before the government shutdown, he was hovering around negative 7%, and now he's negative 10%. And I do believe this disapproval rating will go up after the midterms because that is when the Medicaid cuts kick in and the Obamacare um, subsidies. Actually, the Obamacare subsidies go out at the end of 2025, I believe, and then Medicaid cuts happen after the 2026 midterms from the big beautiful bill. So it is possible. I personally believe that Trump's disapproval rating, especially in poorer areas of the country, could definitely go up. Could lead to his disapproval rating going up to negative 12, negative 13% average. And then if we look at the 2026 generic congressional vote, so this is a poll on who people plan to vote for right now if the 2026 midterms were today. And right now, Democrats are winning by plus 4%. So let's go ahead and get started with the safe states. I do believe the safe states will be similar to the 2020 safe states. And I believe the election will be similar to 2020. Although I do think JD Vance is a weaker candidate than Trump 2020. Um, I do believe that Republicans will lose some ground in Nebraska and Kansas and Iowa, Indiana, and Wisconsin. Places that have a good amount of farmers. I do believe will definitely lose ground, but still safe state, still win by 10%, as Trump, even in 2020, was winning Kansas by 15 and Nebraska by 53. And the safe states for Gavin Newsom, Indiana will be safe, and I do not believe Ohio will be safe. I do believe Gavin Newsom will get most safe states. New Mexico, I do think there has been a Hispanic population turn on Trump. Trump, I believe, won around 25% the Hispanic vote in 2024. I could be wrong about that number. I'll have to fact check myself. Um, but recently, of course, with new policy, the Hispanic vote has been turning against Trump. And I do believe that could lead to a place like New Mexico going from that 8% margin and that we saw, or 6% margin we saw in 2024, go to a 10% margin like we saw with Biden in 2020. Minnesota, I do not believe will be safe. I do believe a lot of this New England area will be safe besides New Hampshire. These districts of Maine will be safe. I do believe New Jersey goes back into the safe column, as we saw with the 2025 governor's election. If we go here and go 20. Do they not have the 2025 governor's elections yet? Let me search up New Jersey 2025 governor's race. It's their Wikipedia. Yes, as we saw, the Democrat candidate win 56% the vote compared to the Republican candidate with 42%. That's safe Democrat. Also, Virginia, I also do believe will be safe. We'll now get over to likelies. I believe that Texas will be a likely, will be in that 6% margin. If Ron DeSantis is not on the ticket, I don't think Florida is likely. But because we don't know who could be on the ticket, I'm just going to give Florida a likely right now. Also, J.D. Vance, former senator from Ohio, I do think Ohio will be likely, and Iowa will be likely. This district of Nebraska will be likely. I believe Minnesota will be likely, and of course, how do I forget? Illinois will be likely. This district of Maine will be likely, and honestly, New Hampshire may be likely if we see 2020 numbers again, but most likely, probably not. It's probably going to be closer to that 3 to 4% margin. Now, I do believe that if Josh Shapiro's on the ticket, we can assume Pennsylvania will be going to the Democrats. Wisconsin was the closest state to flipping Democratic in 2024, so I do believe Wisconsin will go Democratic in, uh, 2028. We have a popular governor, Governor Gretchen Whitmer in Michigan. I do believe this, if she is on the ticket, this will help Gavin Newsom win Michigan possibly. Um, with John Ossoff polling in Georgia, I do believe Georgia will be going Democratic. Arizona, even in 2024, a Democratic senator was able to win in Arizona. So clearly, I do believe it was more of a Kamala Harris problem than a Democratic problem in Arizona. So I do believe Gavin Newsom could win Arizona and Nevada. Although I do believe JD Vance will be able to keep North Carolina possibly. But of course, JD Vance doesn't have that Trump appeal. Trump has some magic to him when it comes to elections. So I could 100% see Gavin Newsom take North Carolina. But also, Gavin Newsom, I don't believe, is as good as a candidate as 2020 Biden was. So I definitely do see North Carolina still going Republican. But, who is it? Dang it. Former governor of. Shoot, actually, let me check. Right here. Yeah, Cooper, Roy Cooper. I can't believe I forgot his name. Roy Cooper polling has been really good in North Carolina for 2026 and a Democratic governor. Won North Carolina 2024. I could totally see North Carolina going Democratic in 2028. But it's not like JD Vance or Gavin Newsom are amazing candidates. So I do believe North Carolina will go Republican, and I could see Arizona going Republican, but I do believe right now, just with Trump's disapproval rating and the 2026 polling that we do have, Arizona will go Democratic. Of course, this polling could be wrong. Polling does tend to underestimate Trump and Republicans within recent elections. So, but just to the polling that we have, which is the only knowledge I have, I do believe Arizona's going blue. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and tell me anything that you want to see in on this channel this year in 2026. Anyway, thank you all, and peace out.